Hi, this is Brass Check, and I wanted to share some insight that I haven't seen anywhere else in the media about the current flock of newscasters being fired for sexually abusing employees. What I haven't heard anyone say, and we probably will never hear the media say, is let's look at the names of the people, right? We're talking about Roger Ailes, who was actually the news director at Fox, Bill O'Reilly, Charlie Rose, and now Matt Lauer. Is anybody surprised that these guys are scum? I mean, we didn't know the details, and frankly, even I'm shocked. I mean, I'm just amazed at this. But are we surprised? The essence of the work that these people do is to lie for money. They're lowlives. They're all lowlives. So that's the fundamental reality of network news. You get a job like that because you're able to stand in front of a camera and lie credibly. That's the sole qualification for the job. No other qualification is needed. And all of the people who rise to the top of that profession are paid liars. They're lowlives. So it's really not a surprise. I mean, the details are a surprise. I have to admit, I don't know people like this. I've never heard of people like this outside of, people that are in jail and belong in jail. Now, everybody involved in that profession, the network news, falls into that category. You can't tell me they don't know that every time they go on the air, they're lying. They're covering up for government criminals. They're covering up for corporate criminals. They're slandering innocent people. That's what they do. That's the nature of their business. And I'm not going to blame any victims here because nobody at a workplace should be abused the way these women were abused by their employers. And I hope that they all get sued back to the Stone Age. I hope Matt Lauer loses his ranch in Montana. Can't go after Roger Ailes. He had the good sense to die. I hope Bill O'Reilly is sued back to a pup tent, by the side of the railroad tracks. And same thing with Charlie Rose. I hope Fox and whatever networks were involved in this as employers have catastrophic, cataclysmic lawsuits from the employees that went through this. But I want to point something out, and I'm not blaming the victims. They are victims. Nobody should be treated like that. These victims went to work every day in the service of lies. That's the business that they voluntarily put themselves in. Now, that may seem a little harsh. And again, no one should be treated the way they were treated. So that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, if you go to work in a whorehouse, how can you be surprised that there's bad behavior going on? I have a clip that we're going to run right now from little Katie Couric. It's her being heard off screen when she doesn't realize anyone's listening. And it is exactly what I'm talking about. It's a Columbus Day bit that they had on Good Morning America, and they wanted to make sure that any scholar or anybody that had true historical knowledge about what really happened when Columbus arrived in the Caribbean not get out to the public. And they're basically, what are they doing? Just like they covered up for Bill O'Reilly, just like they covered up for Charlie Rose, just like they covered up for Matt Lauer, 500 years later, they're covering up for Columbus. All in the service of money. Not decency, not honesty, not history, not the truth, but to make money. So I'm sorry for the women that were mistreated. They might think about going into a more decent profession. And as for the guys that did this, no mercy. I hope they unleash the hounds of hell on these guys. To abuse somebody who's in your trust the way these guys did is the lowest of the low. The absolute lowest. And this is not a men thing or a woman thing or anything. This is just simple human decency. And these people don't have it, and they should pay the price for it. But note, they were allowed to do this and get away with it for years and years and years. Why? They were making money. And what is the job of the network news? It's to lie on behalf of power. And these guys did it really, really well. And everybody that shows up to work at one of these networks knows the business they're in and knows the kind of people they're working with. So anyway, take it away, Katie.
Of course, everyone knows the old rhyme. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. We know his voyage took him to the New World, and his arrival changed the world forever. But beyond that, much about Columbus remains the subject of some dispute.
During the celebration of the 500th anniversary of Columbus's discovery of the Americas, the only satellite feed I found with a Native American guest was this feed to a local morning talk show. The guest is a historian and a member of the Cherokee Nation.
You said he presided over death of 250,000 people. No, that wasn't at his own hand. That was others who followed him and disease and that sort of thing.
No,
he couldn't control.
I'm talking about like his first 2 years here. 250,000. It's pretty well documented. He took his interpreters, he took his guides as slaves. He chopped off the hands of anyone over 14, any male over 14 who couldn't bring in gold. He took women as sex slaves for his men.
Dr. Mattei, I want to thank you very much for coming by. Thanks for spending some time with us this morning on the Good Morning Show.
You're welcome. That was brief.
Okay. Hopefully painless, sir.
The painful lessons of Columbus's past were never mentioned as the networks debated his legacy.
Interesting debate. I'm not sure we settled it this morning, but we appreciate trying. That's true. Thank you both.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more of our special edition of Today on Governor's Island right after this.
What did he say that made any sense? Anything?
They just, think that he ruined the paradise and had no respect for nature and treated the Indians like dog do. And
What the hell does he know?
okay.